Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola. Thanks for joining us again for another U.S. Open Classic finish. Well, 54 holes at the Country Club of Charleston did little to dwindle the field of the 2019 U.S. Women's Open Championship. With 18 holes left, there were realistically a dozen players who had a chance to hoist the trophy.
Yeah, and Dave, and leading the pack were former Duke University teammates Celine Boutier and Yu Liu. But right on their heels, American star Lexi Thompson in search of her first Women's Open title, fellow American Jae-Marie Green, and Japan's Mamiko Higa, who led the field through 36 holes thanks to a scintillating 65 in round one.
And the list goes on and on. Also in the mix, Jung-Eun Lee 6, So-Yeon Yu, Jessica Korda, Gabby Lopez, Minji Lee. It goes on and on. So with so many players vying for the title, let's head out to the 11th tee to see how it all played out.
Back to 11 and Yu Liu.
Well, she's got 7-iron, 2 huge momentum saving pars for this final pairing. Incredible putts for par. Now got to get her mindset here. Just hitting on the green.
That's a nice shot there. Just barely carried the front, false front, but just going to have an uphill putt.
Jae-Marie Green on the tee at 12.
And I'll just remind the viewer, this is a 4-hole stretch where the players can score. And the final 3 holes will be about all you can handle, especially with the U.S. Open pressure on the line. But Jae-Marie needs to play these holes well, as does Celine Boutier.
Celine on the tee here at 11.
Shane, the wind has been blowing this flag in front of the clubhouse in 3 or 4 different directions since they've been waiting, really confusing the players. 7-iron.
She just doesn't have the height to get it to stop. And she needed to bounce it into the false front, kick it up there.
She has struggled on this 11th this week. Has played it in +3. Back on the tee at 12, Lexi Thompson. Made a bogey at 11 yesterday, and then the rest of the way 3 under on her way in. And now our outright leader, Jung-Eun Lee 6, on the tee here at 13.
You heard Jarena say how difficult this hole location is.
10 o'clock. Yeah, both. Yeah, both. 10 o'clock.
We've got the breeze from left to right. That right bunker is in play at 239. It is imperative to hit this fairway.
You know, it's not a long hole, Nicole, but there's only been 3 birdies here all day today. And that's because of that hole location is just on like a little knob.
Quick to grab the tee. And for the 4th consecutive day, Lee 6 finds the fairway here at 13. Back at the 11th, Celine Boutier second.
And Shane, she's about 3 feet from where she's going to play her tee shot on 12. The members say this is a pretty good place to leave it. Two things making this tough. Really tight lie, and the higher she plays this to the right, the more it's going to break to the left. She's chosen a lofted wedge. Every player in the field has stood right there at some point today where she hit that shot from.
She'll have that left for her par to remain one off the lead.
Jane Marie Green, that's where she sits as she plays the 12th.
And it looks like a pretty clean line.
Right? After sure gets up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just think it's a one. Yeah, because it's 110 hole different high grade. Yeah, that's under the wind. How much wind is that? As long as the play. Probably 5 of wind right now, maybe 6. Okay, then a normal. Normal. Just think a normal one's not. Normal one's not fly. 30. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, I love it. I mean, right now it's a good thing. I know. Well, look at this. Look, sweet right of it, you got 1 million miles off. Yeah, but left of it. I mean, not left of it. I think it's just a smooth. Yeah, just a smooth normal. You know that smooth high, feel smooth one? High. Yeah, smooth high, perfect. I love that.
I'm not asking her to hit it 5 yards past the hole with that wind. This lie's tough. It doesn't. You can't tell if it's going to jump or come out soft, but her miss has to be long here.
Only just an eyelash away from being very good, and now that's going to be a real challenge.
Back at the 11th, Yu Liu for a birdie.
I was surprised at that ball. I thought it would fall a little bit left or right on her.
Second shot for Lexi Thompson at 12.
And with 94 yards, she has sandwich. Looking to flight one down back into this wind.
This is where Lexi has to separate herself from the field with these wedges. The way she drives it, so much power, pretty accurate. Puts a lot of spin on it. Not a very good shot at all. Not terrible. She's got a look. Not what she was hoping for.
I mean, well, it's so that
And back at the 11th, Boutier has this for a second straight up and in. It took a long time for her to line this up. Longest all day, and that a drop shot for Celine Boutier after the tee shot went long here. The 11th gets her again. That will be +4 around this par 3 this week for Celine. This a moment ago at the 15th. Allie McDonald's third shot.
She's got to just fly this halfway there. Get to go in. Oh! Well, that's going to help the scorecard.
Eagle for McDonald. Yep, there you go. You toss it to the caddy when you make those type at a U.S. Open on Sunday.
Gina Kim, second shot at 18. And a terrific shot here at 18. Playing so difficult all day, and the sophomore to be who has really played well in past USGA events.
Go back to 13, and our leader, Lee Six, with her second.
From 110 yards with this breeze from left to right, if she can keep this on the right edge of the tower, she'll catch that slope that funnels towards the hole.
That's a nice shot. It's going to be quick coming down there, but Nicole, you're right. You got to miss this on the left-hand side because everything slopes right down to a collection area.
Jade Marie Green at 12, third shot. She's been so good from off the green with putter in her hands, but this one is blown past. The rest of that for par.
Here at the 15th is for an eagle for you. And that one just about goes. That would have got her within 2. So Yeon Yu will have to settle for birdie.
Maybe a little too little too late for her, but a nice run.
Yu Lu at 12. 2 back.
Leaning like it's out to the right. There's some humongous oak trees over there, and she's flown it, and that's actually not too bad. Not too bad at all. Be a nice angle into that flag stick.
Birdie putt for Lexi Thompson at 12.
She can't keep letting these wedges get away. At least 6, 3 clear of Lexi at this point in time, and Lexi has to capitalize on her length, take advantage of those wedges if she wants to win.
We'll stay here for Jade Marie Green and her par putt.
And she's on a very similar line to Lexi. She'll have had a good idea of what it's doing here. Is it down the hill, ever so slightly breaking to the left. And this is the first hole these players have had a good look at the leaderboard left of this green, so they know exactly where they stand for the championship.
Well, she has a beautiful stroke, Brett. She needs her best effort here. I like that little pop motion, but always to the right. Tough bogey to swallow when you're sitting out there with a 9-iron or a wedge.
And got to make this for that bogey.
The problem now is that Lee Six is playing so well. They just can't afford to make mistakes. Not on the easier holes. And as I said earlier, they're in this stretch now, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very easy holes. And she starts that stretch with a bogey. Speaking of Lee Six, there she is at 13.
Paula says a lot about their confidence when she's getting her approach shots all the way to the hole on the back 9 of a major championship. She's firing on all cylinders.
Right now she has a 2-shot lead. This to add to it. She'll stay in front by 2.
All right.
On to 14 she goes. Time for a U.S. Women's Open recap presented by Rolex, and we go to Lexi Thompson at 7 for birdie. To get to 4 under. Jade Marie Green at 9, her second shot. This was a beauty at the par 5.
She flew this bunker and got a tremendous bounce. She just missed the putt for eagle.
Past the hole, comes back just a bit, made a good run at eagle, just didn't fall in, made her birdie. And now Yu Lu, her second shot at 9. Started this final round tied for the lead with Celine Boutier. And if Jean-Marie Greens was good, this was even better. Could not get that to go for eagle, but did make birdie at the 9th. Now Celine Boutier at the 10th, third shot.
She's been brilliant around the greens. Took a big one hopper off that slope, and she buried that putt for par.
That kept her. This does at 6 under for the championship. She's given one back since. But Jung Eun Lee is leading at the moment by 2. Here she is at 11. The difficult par 3. And again today, she made it look anything but difficult. And would make a birdie at the 11th. And now here she is at 12.
She hit a massive tee shot here, Joe, and this is just a sand wedge for her. All kinds of spin on it.
She would go on to make that to get to 7 under for the championship, and there she sits as she plays the 14th. 2 shots in front of Jean-Marie Green, Celine Boutier, Yu Lu. Boutier and Lu started this final round tied at 7 under par and in the top spot in this 74th U.S. Women's Open Championship. Lexi Thompson is still lurking with a par 5 still in front of her, number 15, but right now 3 shots back. You see Jessica Korda. This just a moment ago at 14. One over for her 4th round, and jams it right next to the hole. She makes that. She will be just 3 shots back, and we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck with Paul Azinger and the Hall of Famer Julie Inkster. And there was a point here where Jung Eun Lee looked like she was the most confident on the greens, on the tee, out of the fairways. And you and I looked at each other. Julie, for me, is way over there. And we looked at each other
I was looking at you,
like
Joe.
There is the player that the other players in the field are going to have to worry about. She looks the most calm and at ease trying to win this major.
Yeah, well, I mean, we actually looked at each other, and both of us at the same time said, I think she's going to win. She's had a great year. I mean, her worst finish is 26th, and that was last week. She's finished 10th, 11th, 14th, 16th, 6th. I mean, she's unbelievable. And Julie, you know more about her game than anybody. She drives it straight, but
Well, she drives it straight. She hits a lot of greens, and she's a good putter. That's a nice. That's a nice
combination.
Yeah, combination. That's what I'm thinking for. Thanks, Paul.
That's
Thanks
all right.
for backing me up.
Another perfect tee shot there for her as well, and that should be just a wedge into 14.
And in case you're wondering why she is Jung Eun Lee 6, is because on the the Korean LPGA Tour, she was the 6th Jung Eun Lee to join. So just with regard to age, she becomes Jung Eun Lee 6, and it's something that she's really embraced. She talks about lucky 6. 6 is on her golf ball, and doesn't look like she needs any luck right now because she is dialed in.
She is dialed in, and everybody, we saw this starting out. Everybody was 3-putting, missing the greens. I mean, Lexi, she's been a ball striking machine. And, she's only hit 6 of 12 greens in regulation. She's hit a couple snap hooks. She hasn't been very consistent. And Jung Eun Lee just is taking hold of the reins and going with it.
Well, she looks pretty calm.
And she's got a veteran caddy on her back, Adam Woodward, that they work well together. He's been working with her all year.
Wolfing down grapes. She's leading the U.S. Open by 2.
Here's Yu Lu at 12. Third shot.
She had a flyer from the right rough. It would just edge over the green. A tough shot here. Really elevated green.
Awesome shot there.
Pretty clever there, Brad. The grass is tight around the greens. You have a lot of options, and I love the way they set this golf course up with a nice mix of shaved and rough up by the green.
Go here to the 13th and Lexi Thompson.
This 5 was here. Basically went 250. Rolling and everything. Then we just played off the left. Okay.
And from 133, this golf ball is 1 inch in the rough, and there's a big clump of grass behind it. It's going to be a difficult shot to control the spin here. And as she's looking at this flagstick, it's in the far back quadrant of the screen, and there's nothing really behind it.
Better say I've been long all day.
There's Boudier at 12 for birdie.
Pretty good speed. And she's going to need to make a move.
Back to 13 and green.
Now it's a pitching wedge from 122.
And we've seen her last couple holes get a couple of those short irons to the right. That's when pressure starts getting to you. Stop covering the ball.
Here's opportunity for Jung-Eun Lee, 6 at 14, in perfect position, already leading by 2.
With a gap wedge from 110 yards, she needs to carry this 107 yards to carry it up onto the flat.
There's a bunker right behind the flag, Nicole. She cannot afford to go over, not in this position. On the easiest shot as you can get, just don't go long. Oh, and there's a false front there as well, but she was able to get over that.
She's birdied this hole each of the last 2 days. She'll have that look at birdie here at 14. Jung-Eun Lee leading by 2 as she plays the 14th, has a birdie putt upcoming, 2 under for her final round today. Jay Marie Green is right there, just 2 shots back, 1 over on the day, and here she is at 13.
These putts, the closer you get to the clubhouse, get a little bit longer and a little bit tighter.
There's the birdie try for Jung-Eun Lee, 6 at 14.
Going to be downhill. Kind of a defensive effort there.
Back at the 13th, Lexi Thompson for birdie.
A little shame to see her make one from off the green. Can she do it again? And that's going to be a tough little side hill putt down the hill.
Saw the great approach by Gina Kim, and now this for birdie. The 19-year-old. She'll stay at 1 under. A proud Duke Blue Devil. Her parents both Spanish professors at University of North Carolina. And with that Carolina blue putter head, taps it in for a round of 1 over 72, 1 under for the championship, and all smiles it should be for Gina Kim.
Back at the 13th, Lexi for a par, and that one goes begging as well. And Lexi Thompson will drop another one. She'll move to -3 now, 4 shots back.
Well, bless her heart. I think her hopes are going to be dashed now unless there's some kind of a miracle finish. Tee to green, she's been spectacular. On the green, average at best. And
her wedge play has been average at best too, Paul. Kind of saw a lot of that. You know, she's got a lot of wedges in, and it seems like she left a lot of them out to the right the last 2 days.
Now Green to avoid back-to-back bogeys.
And you guys mentioned, you really feel like the air has been let out of the sail here so far.
That's a big putt by Jay Marie. She's still in it. I mean, she's got a par 5 coming up, but so does Lee 6.
And Jessica Korda's on 15. If she can do something spectacular there, she'll still be in it as well. But right now, Lee 6, total control.
For all the latest U.S. Women's Open news, follow the USGA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and join the conversation using the hashtag US Women's Open.
To 15 in our leader.
Not much wind to speak of. 263 to that right bunker.
That's the one bunker she's got to make sure that she stays away. And again, right down the middle, center cut.
Perfectly positioned there. And to finish off, talking about Lee 6, just 23 years of age, from South Korea, now ranked in the top 20 in the world. And you see 5 career LPGA top 10s, never a victory as we go over to 14.
Jay Marie Green bogeyed this 14th yesterday. Good start here.
She has a wonderful golf swing, big shoulder turn. It's almost like when her shoulder gets to her chin, she starts back and it's all synced up.
Should be able to, right.
Well, Lexi Thompson yesterday, eagled 15, birdied 16. May have to get a run started
Let's get going.
here at 14 if she's going to have any hope of chasing down Jungwon Lee 6.
Well, the 4-hole stretch that I deemed reasonably simple. She's 1 over par in the first 2 of those 4 holes. Wedges to both. Good tee shot here, and she'll have just a sand wedge in. Reachable 15th would be next.
She's 4 back.
Couple of ditches to guard both sides of this fairway. Kind of unnerving. Lucky to skate past it. Can walk across the ditch, but boy, it'll swallow that golf ball up.
And she missed 7 greens all from the first 3 rounds. She's missed 7 today.
Yeah, just nothing's been the same. That one night's sleep when you're waiting on a Sunday can wreck it.
We'll go back over to the 13th. Boudier second. Alexis Tracer on the way.
She loves those back hole locations. She can just run it up there a little bit. The ones she has trouble with is when they're up front.
Now Yu Lu.
Well, she's got this tree in front of her. It wouldn't bother. I don't think it's going to bother her. It would bother Paul Azinger's second shot in here. A little dicey lie here. Could be a flyer. This is going to be a risky shot.
Are you saying I couldn't get it over that tree?
Not with your best pitching wedge.
Oh, I beg to differ. I would hit some kind of curveball around there then.
Well, Cherry Hills Country Club, home to the 2005 U.S. Women's Open and one of the greatest finishes in the history of the game. Time now for Signature Moments, presented by Rolex. Playing her first U.S. Women's Open, Birdie Kim faced a difficult bunker shot on the 72nd hole, where she was tied for the lead. The 23-year-old topped the then teenage amateurs Morgan Pressel and Brittany Lang to capture her only win in America. An unforgettable finish at the U.S. Women's Open. Morgan Pressel won the U.S. Amateur that year back in 2005 and was right there for the U.S. Women's Open, but that was the time for Birdie Kim.
And like Birdie Kim, the first win for Lee Six. If she walks away, the Country Club of Charleston victorious today and perfectly positioned here at the par 5.
I think the front of the green is just slightly outside of her wheelhouse, but the interesting thing is she walked up about 60 yards up, and the key is to make sure that she splits this fairway, because you've got those pop bunkers lurking on each side of the fairways, and that's really the one place you can't hit it here. She only has 249 front, slight breeze at her. I think she's waiting more out of respect to the players on the green.
We'll go back to 14 now, and the second shot for Jay Marie Green.
And this is a pitching wedge from 114. Looking at this flagstick, you see nothing behind it, the infinity edge. Really tough to judge the distance.
You got to get it over that false front too, Brett. Watch out, left. That's going to roll all the way down to the bottom. With just a wedge in your hand, that'll cause you to lose sleep at night. She doesn't win this golf tournament.
Just right of it.
Stay here for Lexi Thompson.
13 more. So it's 98 to the top of the wrist. I think it's 90 kind of here. Too short. That's something like 96 on that hill. Breeze is off far right. And it's supposed to be from. We can play for a little bit of jump. Which one you got?
Huh?
Gets 59. Why don't we say the wind and the jump cancel and just try to 96, 97 shot. Kind of flight it.
Well, it's not going to flight it.
Okay. It's just like go down at the end, it's just right.
You can hear her caddy asking her to flight it, but she doesn't like flighting it out of this lie. It's actually a good lie, maybe a little too good out of this rough.
You know, Brett, you talked about being long on a lot of these holes. Well, coming out of that rough, it's hard not to be long. You get no spin on the ball, and the ball just jumps off the club face.
Well, not just right of it, we didn't.
Back at the 13th, Yu Lu, long putt for birdie. That one was well judged, just about cashed it. Now at the par 5 15th, Korda is for par.
Yeah, it's something she needed birdie or better on this hole to even really have a chance.
Now back in the fairway, Jung Lee 6, ready to go.
279, 249 to the front edge. With this flat stick cut only 4 paces off the left, she really needs to favor keeping this up the right side.
nice favorable kick right there. She's flirting with those bunkers on the right-hand side, but she's going to have a really good angle there, Nicole.
Now back at the 13th, Boudier for a birdie to get within one.
It was like one of mine here lately.
Tough start for Celine. Just 2 shots off the lead.
Jane Marie Green now 14, her 3rd shot.
Putter all the way.
Now at 13, Yu Lu to save par. Good 2-putt there, just 2 shots back for Yu Lu. We'll go to the 15th. Amiko Higa's 3rd. Leader after round 1 and round 2.
Nice shot in there.
Lexi Thompson for birdie at 14. Wow.
You know, really the entire field today has just had a hard time on the greens. I'm not sure, Joe, if it's just a bit of pressure or the greens are frightfully fast as the course has dried out. But it hasn't been pretty to watch, and you know, inevitably it's been Lee Six. It's been the only one really to make a putt of any magnitude all day.
On the tee, Yu Lu.
It's a great 2-putt there on the last. Has to split these 2 creeks on each side of the fairway. Blind shot. Hard to pick out the perfect line.
Both Yu Lu and her fellow competitor and the other member of this pairing will think about the way they started this final round. They came in tied at the top at 7 under par. Yu Lu was 3 over after 4. Celine Boutier doubled the opening hole, bogeyed the 3rd hole. Been trying to right the ship ever since, and now here at 15 is our leader, Jung-Hoon Lee 6.
Say again? Yeah, top is 41.
And based on her walking up all the way to this flat, there's that bowl on the left. The key is she really wants to take a majority of that to take the slope from right to left. That looking to fly this around 43, 44 yards.
With a birdie here, she's going to be tough to beat. She's going to be 3 clear of everybody. And they're running out of holes. The people behind them are running out of time. Look at that nice, crisp, balanced chip shot. Moving her body through, letting her arms work with their lower body.
She turned 23 this week. Having a heck of a birthday celebration here at Charleston. Now Lexi
for par at 14. Nice save after a disappointing birdie putt. Well, if you couldn't make it out to the Country Club of Charleston this week, you can still find a way to get in on the experience. Check out all the official U.S. Women's Open gear at usgashop.com. Par putt here for Jane Marie Green at 14.
Well, the championship was pretty much on the line there for her. She had to have that one.
Bogeys at 12 and 14.
Now here at the 15th, Omiko Higa for birdie.
Well, saw those go in the first 3 days. She just hasn't had the same speed on her putts. Everything's kind of dying just a little bit to the left.
Back on the tee here, Lexi Thompson.
Oh, sat down. It's all going to be dependent on her life. She's going to be able to get that home in 2.
Now up on the green, Jung-Hoon Lee 6. This for a birdie and a 3-shot lead with 3 holes to play.
If she makes this, it'll be the first nail in the coffin for the rest of the field.
Just what she needed. A bogey at the first today, and since then Lee 6 has been flawless. 4 under par, you see there, and when everybody else is falling apart, she's just racked up birdies.
She's got one of the best rounds of the day going right now.
Now Celine Boutier at 14, second shot.
That's going to run off straight backwards. 12 of the 18 holes here have some kind of false front.
Trust it.
Now the second shot for Yu Liu. Might have the only realistic shot of making some noise here and putting some kind of pressure.
Just a normal 115 would be perfect.
On Lee 6.
She definitely got the advantage of watching Boutier's shot first here. She's 4 yards closer, but it's uphill. It's against the wind. And I'll tell you what, this is such an intimidating looking wedge shot. It looks like there's nowhere to miss it.
Didn't like it and lost it left. Jung-Hoon Lee 6. Her tee shot at 16. She's played this hole at 1 over par for the week.
And going with 3-wood here, the wind is helping off the left. Wants to make sure she avoids that right bunker at 240 off this tee.
Ball. I think wisely going with a 3-wood there, taking that bunker out of play. Gotta fit that ball here at 16. Wonderful par 4.
Playing at 408 yards. Time now for Course Insights by American Express, bringing the fan an inside view of hole number 16 here at the Country Club of Charleston.
Well, this hole is flat as a pancake, and the players actually cannot see where their ball ends up, although I think they can assume now because they've been here long enough. This green has a tremendous backstop there behind the flagstick today. Actually, the hole's cut on the left-hand side just over that false front. 2 really interesting kind of slopes coming off that area between those bunkers. It's a Wonderful par 4, kind of a dangerous second shot here for Lee 6. She's got to get that ball on the green somewhere.
Go back over to 15. Lexi muscling that out with her second.
Very good. The golf course not having a rough on it.
It's grown
We've
since
hit it,
we've been
we've
here.
hit it in some shit.
Yeah. There's some really bad parts of it.
Back to 14 and Celine Boutier. Can it go? Well, that would have been something. Would have gotten her to within 2 at the moment, but now we'll have the rest of that at par to stay 3 back. You're watching coverage of the USGA Championships on Fox, presented by Rolex. We saw Celine Boutier and now Yu Lu.
Well, if she lands this on the green and it's a little hard, if you're 50 feet by, no chance from there. That had to be a shot. You ran along the ground. She's missed 3 greens with wedge in the last 5 holes. You can't win a U.S. Open doing that.
Yeah, everyone just melting around Jung-Hoon Lee 6. Here at 16, Jessica Korda for birdie.
Must be downhill all the way. Easy.
Well, right now the drama may be left for who finishes second. Back to Yu Lu here at 14.
Well, this is no easy putt here. Gigantic ridge to go over. Long putt uphill into the green. Then it turns and goes downhill, backing away, and the wind's blowing. Disappointing second shot for sure there. Paul, what do you think, or Julie? You know, a lot of these players, they pace off their yardages to putt. They look into their books. I don't know if they look down enough.
I just kind of do it by my eyesight, my feel, you know, my practice strokes.
You're so old school.
I am.
You know,
they all tell me that too.
The game has really changed, though, like the greens books and all that, and the ability to read based on the arrows, what you don't even have to see anymore. And it's different. It certainly slowed the pro game down. I think the average player would need a green book, but I agree, Julie. I mean, you got to use your eyes and your feel, and it's been hard to watch today how some of these ladies have responded to the pressure. They haven't hit a lot of good wedges. We haven't seen anybody really stuff one in there close in a while. And then we see putts like that over and over again coming up short, and it's just been a tough final round to watch unless you've watched Lee 6.
This the par putt for Jessica Korda at 16. And she'll give another back.
Maybe had the worst putting round of her career yesterday.
Back over at the 15th, J. Marie Green. Got to make a lot of birdies coming in.
Jung-Hoon Lee 6 now here at 16.
Right now it's gusting downwind. She has 133 to the hole, 124 to the flat. That's the key number.
You got that right. You want to get it over that bunker and that false front there. Get it over that. I don't think it did. Really, the only mistake she could make from that distance was to come up short. Big backstop behind the flag back there.
And that's the first mistake we've seen her make in a long time today.
It was a really treacherous spot to play from, because that ball could come back to her feet again if she's not careful.
Back at 14, Yu Lu for bogey. Well, Celine Boutier is the closest to Jung-Eun Lee's 6, 3 shots back. As they go down the final stretch, here's Lexi Thompson.
Just a 95-yard short shot. She needs to get over that little hill. That's one of the best wedges we've seen her hit all day today.
See if Celine Boutier can stay 3 back. This for par at 14. Well, who knows what happens up ahead at 16 with Jung-Eun Lee, who right now is leading by 3 as she plays the 16th, where she came up short of the green, dealing with that false front. Celine Boutier goes to the par 5, 15th now. Here's Jane Marie Green at 15. Just a par.
Yeah, she just kind of lost a little bit of her mojo with that bogey on 12 and just hasn't seemed to be able to get it back.
Well, she hit a poor wedge shot on 14 as well and made bogey from down there at the bottom, and no birdie at 15. So she's in deep trouble now. Lee 6 here with a pretty tricky up and in, and she's 8 for 13 scrambling so far this week. She's done quite well, Nicole.
Well, luckily she is on the upslope here, but wow, you talk about a nerve tester on back 9 on Championship Sunday. She's going to have to fly this right around 20, 22 yards, and I don't even think she can leave it short of this hole location, Paul.
Well, if she's going to pitch it, she's got to land it about where she's standing. And, you know, what you want to be careful of, 2 things here. You don't want to stick that leading edge in the ground, and you don't want that heel to stick in the ground either. Those are the 2 ways that will sabotage her shot. If she's going to use the leading edge, she's got to get the ball way back and then just drive it out of here. Maybe 1 or 2 hops into that slope. Just have to get it over this false front. That's all that matters at this point. She's got it way back in her stance. She's going to stick that leading edge in the ground and just drill this thing. Just like that. Yeah, well done. Good chance to save par.
We talked about who is going to emerge on this Sunday. The last 5 pairings so far, Jung-Eun Lee's 6 is the only player under par in this final round. We'll head over to the 15th. Boutier on the tee.
And this will be a 3-shot hole for Celine. Did the first part of her job getting in the middle of the fairway.
That's one of the nicest, most anti-left golf swings I think I've ever laid eyes on.
Now Lexi for birdie here at 15. And another one just runs out of gas.
Number 8 player in the world changing her putting grip during the course of the week and putting it into play here in the U.S. Women's Open. She is stuck with it. Here at 18, So-Yeon Yu. 2 major championships to her credit among her 6 LPGA wins. Rest of that for a par at 18 in a round of 70. This a moment ago. Mamika Higa at 16 to get to 3 under.
That's what we're used to seeing right there.
36-hole leader. Putter has let her down here on Sunday. Now Jung-Hoon Lee 6, our leader for par at 16.
And this is a little bit of an awkward putt. Back uphill, back into the green. Looks like it wants to go right, but the grain is at her left to right.
Paul, you talked about that first nail in the coffin going in back on 15. This could be the second nail if she can finish this off with a par here at 16. Celine Boutier is playing the par 5 15th right now, and she's the one that's got a chance to put the pressure on Jung-Hoon Lee 6.
But Joe, she's driven about 2 yards from where she did yesterday. She's got almost 300 yards to the green. She's just trying to lay it up. She's got to carry this cool looking burn right here. It's only 170 to carry that and get it to the fairway. She hit it in the rough yesterday, so she needs to be in the fairway today.
She's right where she needs to be. It's a tricky layup there, 15. No problem.
Yeah, flag, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Lee 6 for bogey at 16. And the lead is 2.
She's never won before, Julie. Obviously she knows where she stands. What do you think's going through her mind right now? She's walking over to 17.
Well, as you said, on 16 was a huge mistake. All you have to do is flag in the middle of the green,
Yep.
to 2-putt and get out of there. Got a little bit greedy.
Now Yu Lu, second here at 15.
Just a few yards closer than Boutier. Still can't reach the green into this prevailing breeze. Both these players have played par 5 6 under this week. They got a chance to make a birdie.
As we move over to the par 3 17th, difficult hole location today. It has been the easiest par 3 this week for the players. It'll be Himiko first.
2時ぐらいな感じで。
And Shane, you talked about difficult hole location. Cut only 3 paces off the right edge. With the wind coming off the right, slightly hurting, there's one place you cannot hit it, and it's in that right bunker.
Seen a lot of balls there today, Nicole. I mean, that's a smart shot there, and I'm looking for Lee 6 to put it right next to that golf ball, because you just cannot, as you said, go out this whole location, especially with a 2-shot lead.
Yeah, it's just that little bit of 2 o'clock, isn't it? And it's just a control one. And that breeze is
38.
Say again?
38.
Then 38. Maybe playing.
Pin is 43.
Pin's 42.
Okay.
So just a control one. Finish 3 meters left of it.
You hear that 3 meters left of it. She's really looking at splitting the left USGA flag and the hole. If it stays up top on the right, so be it. But most likely the safe play, like you said, Julie, is just to be left in the bowl, putting back uphill to this hole location.
Be aiming at that little space between the tower and the tent. not going. I mean, it's not going to be an easy putt. Believe me. I mean, that's a tough putt up that ridge, but I mean, that's the spot she needed to hit.
A little grin, knowing maybe a little more safe than she wanted at 17. As we go back to the 15th, Celine Boutier is her third.
I've seen that whole location with it just kind of up on that knob, and it's so hard to get it back there.
And to apply any pressure at all, that putt is going to need to drop for Boutier.
Lexi Thompson up ahead at 16.
Yeah, that's like.
I know, am I trying to land it into the base of it or like?
Well, it depends on how it comes out and where you're hitting it up in the air or not.
Well, I mean, it's going to be up in the air.
So we just got to think about this though.
What is it to the top again?
29 to the top. Just got to think, would you rather it just pass the hole, if it gets past the hole, pass the hole?
Yeah. I want it to stay on.
Yeah, I mean, it can.
28, 30.
38's our total. It's a good one of these. Okay. All right, see you shot and do it.
Lexi asking her caddy if she should land it into the hill or carry that hill. She's got a gap wedge here, downwind, and definitely a flyer lie. This ball should come out fast.
Seems like she's played from the rough all day today. Pretty good shot there for Lexi, but her strength was her driver the first 3 rounds. She's only hit 5 of 13 fairways today, Julie.
And you can't play a U.S. Open from the rough. I mean, it's just going to catch up to you. There's no way you can judge how far the ball is going to roll out. So, I mean, at least from the fairway, you can get a little spin on it. But from that rough, you can't get any spin.
Back at 15, you lose third on the way. That one comes up short as well. Over the 17th, our leader by 2. And a great look at this par 3 17th named Short. Just an island green, if you will. And this will be a long, long putt for birdie.
Shane, not only long, but very challenging to get the speed right. The first 2/3 of this putt, it's going to be going down the bowl, down grain, but the last, I'd say about 18 feet of this putt is going to be back uphill into the grain and really moving from left to right.
Mentioned no wins for Lee Six on American soil. 8 victories on the Korean LPGA Tour in her young career. Just looking for a 2-putt par and get over to 18. Just about slammed the door on this championship. She'll have that one left for her par. Back at 15, Boutier for birdie.
Julie, I can't help but think that if Celine had pressed that second shot up farther, it would have been a better chance to get it close to this hole.
Yeah, I mean, her wedge play has been great all week, and it looks like she kind of laid too far back.
It's so hard to get it close to these high plateaued greens into the wind
Especially
with a
when,
wedge.
yeah, especially when you're hitting a full shot. You're so much better off trying to skip it in there.
Back to the 17th, Himeko Higa for birdie.
And she's putting this right along the edge of that bowl. Once it gets to the highest point, starts breaking right, it's going to be fast.
She made a long one on the last. And that great speed here at the 17. Back at the 15th, Yu Lu for a birdie. This to get within 2.
Well, she got a nice.
Did she give it enough?
She got a nice read from Celine. She just needed to hit it a little bit harder.
And back at the 17th, Jung-Hoon Lee 6, a tickler for par.
It's a gray hair starter kit, if you ask me. Big difference in a 2-shot lead and a 1-shot lead heading to that 18th hole, which is no bargain. Very confident, Julie.
That was a nice 2-putt there, but she played that hole just the way she wanted to. Maybe a little further left than she wanted to, but still. Nice 2-putt, solid par.
Well, she got lucky the ball lipped out her. It had gone about 6 feet by in 18. Most difficult hole of the day. Hardest it's played all day, or all week anyway.
Here's a birdie try for Lexi Thompson at 16. And it never goes right, to her surprise. The last 10 U.S. Women's Opens have produced 10 different champions. The last 8 PGA majors have produced 8 different champions. We may be headed for adding 1 to each total here this week in Charleston. This is Celine Boutier with her tee shot at the par 4 16.
Yeah.
The wind?
The wind is here. Okay. Trust the target.
So now to the final hole here for Jung-Hoon Lee 6. She's parred this hole every day. As Paul said, this is playing as a difficult par 4, second hardest hole on the golf course today. It's the longest par 4 at 442, and there's been only 1 birdie here all morning and afternoon.
Well, the key for her now, there's a bunker on the left-hand side that's 241 yards to carry. She's going to get to watch her playing partner go first.
That's Mamiko Higa. .36-hole leader, shot 65 here for the lowest ever for a debut round in a U.S. Women's Open. Even par the last 2 rounds. 3 over so far today. And now our leader. And when you read her bio, what stands out is her father was paralyzed in an automobile accident when Lee was 4 years old, and it was hard for the family to travel to tournaments across Korea, as hotels that could accommodate a wheelchair always cost more, and she was still an amateur. She eventually turned pro, joined the KLPGA Tour in 2016, has won 7 times there, and is looking for her first major championship.
Oh, and a great break as it hops over that bunker. She hit that right out on the toe, like a little bit of a kind of a shrimpy hook, kind of nosedive, but big hard bounce, and that's a huge break. Absolutely huge break right here. The lip of that bunker makes it virtually impossible to get on the green. Now from there, she may actually get a drop from that drain.
There's J. Marie Green for par at 16. And just running out of steam today.
She looked so solid on that front side, and as soon as she bogeyed 12, it just seemed like everything came out of her.
So J. Marie with her brother on her bag this week carries on to 17. Here's Jessica Korda at 18.
Come on. Oh, she deserved that. She really has had a hard time on the greens this weekend. She has. That's going to be 33 putts today, 5 3-putts on the weekend, 37 putts yesterday, and just not going to get it done.
In a round of 2 over today, 73, 69, 68 over the first 2 rounds, and there's lucky number 6 on the golf ball of the leader, Jung-Hoon Lee, 6.
And this lie is not very good, definitely sitting down, but she may actually catch a good break here. Her heels will most likely be on this drain, so she'll be able to get a drop.
We'll go back to that. Here at 16, second shot for Celine Boutier.
Oh, here's the genius of Seth Rayner. She's in the right side of the fairway. Virtually no chance to get this ball close to the green unless she bounces it up here. Terrible angle, but what a shot.
Did exactly that.
Don't count her out yet.
The only one it feels like that can put pressure on Jung-Hoon Lee, 6. If she taps that in, she'll be at 6 under.
Over at the 17th, Lexi Thompson. And at this point, you might as well take dead aim.
We've seen no one take on that hole location today, but like you said, mine will take dead aim, see if I can hole it out.
Back to 18 and Jung-Hoon Lee, 6.
And she is indeed taking the drop here. This is some really, really thick Bermuda right around where she's going to be dropping. Paul, I would expect this ball to nestle straight down.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if she shouldn't have maybe come backwards a little bit more instead of straight to the side. That's just going to bury. There it goes. So she probably won't be able to reach the green from here, Nicole, you think?
Well, I think she'll be able to actually chop it out. It's pretty flat, about 10 yards short of this green, but the challenge is running it up that false front. So she's got 186 yards to the hole, 161 to the flat.
The danger here is if the rough snags the hosel.
So where do you want to land that? Well, it's something landing, think around the front, got every chance of getting back to it. 40. I just think 7 might fly better out of it. I don't know. What do you think? I just think it could fly better. With this lie, I think if you land it too short, it's got every chance of going up there to the middle of the green. Okay. Helping break, 4 o'clock. I like it.
Nicole, she just looked at her caddy like, I don't know what to do. You tell me what to do.
Well, you heard Adam say middle of the green, and that's really the important part here, because if you get this ball going anywhere right of this hole location, it's going to feed off right off this green into a big downslope collection area, which will be a very difficult up and in. So she has to be looking at left edge of the grandstands here.
Opportunity possibly for Celine Boutier. Jung-Hoon Lee 6 will need to get that up and down to stay at 7 under. Celine Boutier has a good look at birdie at 16, currently 5 under. Yu Liu will be first to putt, and this will be a par attempt.
Joe Liu hit it into the right rough, which is really worse, being the right side of the fairway, and didn't have enough club on it. Got it in the upslope on the bunker, and a beautiful bunker shot off the lie that looked like somebody had never caddied before raked it. Now she's got a little tester for par and giving a little more time for Boutier to think. And it's interesting, there's one scoreboard out here on the 17th hole, and all the names are taken off there. I don't know if Boutier knows where she stands.
Must be dinner time.
Well, that's interesting.
A Low Country boil this evening as they play a Low Country masterpiece. Terrific venue. And suddenly we have some real drama. Boutier's thinking, hurry up and hit the putt.
Gets it to go to stay at 4 under. And now the important putt of Celine Boutier to get to 6 under, 1 back.
And Joe, every golfer likes to see a putt before him go in like that from a short distance. When you got the same sort of putt, this thing could go a little bit to the front of the green.
This is as much mental as it is physical. She's got to want to make this more than she's afraid of missing it.
Still 2 back.
It's happened all too often in this final round. So many short key putts missed, Julie.
Yeah, especially on the first hole. We saw her miss a real short one just for bogey.
Mamiko Higa will be first to play, just short of the green at 18, her 3rd shot.
And I'll tell you, Lee 6 is going to be watching this very closely, how it reacts once it gets onto the green.
Well played by Mamiko Higa, our 36-hole leader. Three over for her round today. If you're just joining us, Celine Boutier and Yu Liu started this final round tied at the top, 7 under par, leading by 1, but it's been a charge by Jung-Hoon Lee 6, who is short of the green at 18, at the moment leading by 2 under for her final round today.
She's 8 for 14 scrambling, and currently 50% of the players that have been in this position have been able to get this up and in.
Well, she's got 25 yards of green once she carries that false front. So she's looking at landing this about 15 yards short of this flag.
I would think under the circumstances, that's not that bad. Not dead yet.
We'll head back to the 17th. Celine Boutier with that unbelievable opportunity at 16. A tough hole location here at the par 3.
Sure is, Shane. Only 3 from the edge, the only hole on the course that close to the edge, and it's just as bad if you hit it left because it'll go back down in the thumper into the wind, right to left. That's a 6.
And just nobody able to get it close here at the 17th. Up ahead, Green and Lexi Thompson both making par here at the 17th. And Celine Boutier is going to have to make a bomb if she wants to birdie this par 3.
Jung-Hoon Lee 6 will be first to putt here at 18, trying to save par.
The challenge will be she's uphill into the green, so really it's important here to keep the momentum of this putt up so it doesn't break off.
Nicole, what's this, about 7 or 8 feet?
Yeah, it's a good 7-8 feet, but like I said, it's putting straight up the hill. She could not have left her pitch in a better spot.
Well, if she makes this, she's likely to be the United States Open champion. Oh, and now that putt that Celine Boutier missed at 16 really, really looms large.
We'll go back to the 17th. Yu Liu. Birdie finish. Give her a chance, but that one is wide left.
You see our leader up at the green at 18, but Mamiko Higa will be next to putt to try to save par here at the last.
And this is a slippery putt down the hill, downgrade, not a lot of movement in it.
Held the lead in this championship after round 1, after round 2. And a round of 3 over par today. 74, tied for 6th at 3 under for the week.
And I'll get her back the U.S. Open next year, top 10 in ties, get an invite.
Now Jung-Hoon Lee, the leader, for bogey. Look to be on cruise control. Finishes her round bogey, par, bogey. And the door is open for Celine Boutier. Now 8 of 12 career rounds for Jung-Hoon Lee 6 have been under par in her starts in the U.S. Women's Open Championship. And will it be enough after her round of 70 today?
We'll head back to the 17th. And the last two players with a chance at this championship. Yulu needs birdie. Boutier must make a long one here, birdie 18.
You're right, Shannon. Another kind of poor wedge shot here from you, missing this green well left. And now she's got a long running chip shot. It has to go down into the slope and back up.
Such a steep slope there. It's really hard to get it back there. Looks like she took like a lofted wedge and tried to fly it there most of the way.
Signing of the scorecards. And again, if you're just joining us, she's called Jung-Hoon Lee 6 because there had been 5 other women on the KLPGA Tour with her exact name. Her fan club called the Lucky 6, and we'll see if she can walk away with her first major championship. Here's the opportunity, Shane Bacon, for Celine Boutier.
This for a share of the lead with 1 hole to play.
And this is as hard as it can get. It breaks immediately to the right. If you have too much speed early, it'll stay way out to the left. She could lose this way right if she doesn't get it perfect. That was a hard one.
Pretty well done there, considering the slope, and that will be a must make for Boutier.
Second shot at 18 for Lexi Thompson.
And from 141 yards straight downwind, gap wedge.
Go. Go.
Oh my goodness.
Still smiling.
No, if it went up and down, I don't think so.
At the end of a frustrating day.
I got no idea.
And that's the reason you need to put the ball in the fairway, Joe, so you can hit shots like that. She only hit 6 fairways today, missing 8. Playing out of that nasty Bermuda rough, Julie.
And it's just, you can't play U.S. Open, especially Country Club of Charleston, out of the rough. And the fairways are pretty generous out here. So if you're hitting in the rough, you're a little bit wayward.
We're back over at 17. Yulu trying to save her par.
A lot of noise from the gallery here. These stands have some televisions in. They're watching the final groups play on TV. And Coach Dan Brown, the Duke coach that both these players played for, is walking around, and we were just talking about how this is really going to fill up both their experience baskets, even though most likely not going to win this championship. It's huge at their age, the experience this counts for.
Yulu just 23 years of age, and this her first U.S. Women's Open Championship, and has been really impressive all week long. And a bogey for Yulu, as we'll stay here for Boutier. A must make to save par. Missed a short birdie at putt at the last. Inside of 5 feet this week, 44 for 48. Good 2 putt there. She'll head over to the 18th, needing birdie.
Question is, does she know that? Because Brad, as Brad said, they're taking the boards down out there.
Well, they can see the boards, Paul, from this side of the green. They couldn't see them from the tee, so she knows her situation. She knows she's 2 shots back, and a highly unlikely chance that she has to make a 2 here.
She's only 1 back, Brad, as our leader bogeyed the last hole, and Jay Marie Green, what a great week for her, but a disappointing close.
So impressive all week. Putting was brilliant until today. And with regard to Lexi Thompson, we came in saying if the putter heats up, she could run away with this, just taking for granted what she would do off the tee and with her approach shots. And really it was her tee shots that let her down, as you've talked about, playing out of the rough for the majority of the day.
Yeah, I just didn't see this coming. I mean, she was just striking the ball so well, hitting the fairways, hitting the greens.
Just to get into a tie for 3rd. And just the 2nd birdie today at 18. Joining Pei Yun Chen. And it's now all on Celine Boutier, who needs a birdie to tie Jung-Eun Lee's 6.
I don't think she has the strength to carry the bunker on the left, but she drives it so straight it doesn't even matter. It would go through the eye of a needle.
Jung-Eun Lee's 6 in the foreground. Her pursuer, Celine Boutier, hydrating before her 2nd shot upcoming at 18. Now the tee shot for Yu Liu. Two good drives here at 18. Well, the USGA Hall of Champions in Liberty Corner, New Jersey is a testimony to every champion who has won a USGA trophy dating back to 1895. And when a player visits and sees their name etched in history, it becomes an emotional moment, one they will never forget.
Have you ever seen worse clutch putting in your?
Celine Boutier is in her 12th major start of her career. She'd never been inside the top 50 entering the final round of a major. She started this final round tied at the top with Yu Liu at 7 under. She's hanging in, and she needs a birdie here at 18 to force a 2-hole aggregate playoff.
There's only been 2 birdies on 18 all day.
This is at the practice putting green with Jung-Eun Lee 6. Trying to stay warm. Maybe keep her mind off what's to come. Not really watching with Celine Boutier in the middle of the fairway here at 18. Celine has birdied this hole twice this week.
That's the good news. Bad news, only 2 birdies here today with the hole in that back portion. Bradley?
Well, Paul, I talked to her before the round, and I said, that was a beautiful shot. You hit it in the 18 yesterday. Did you know you had to land it short of the green? She said, that's the only way I can play with my ball flight. And she's got a little more luxury with this hole location way in the back of the green. This is 6 iron.
Lost it right. And so the next shot is going to have to go in, or Jung-Eun Lee 6 will have her first major championship.
Well, and the fact that the golf has been less than stellar is not going to take away from what the champion gets to hoist here and make history. And it looks like it just might be Lee 6.
Well, Paul, like you said, of the last group, she's the only one that's been under par today. You know, even though she bogeyed 2 of the last 3, she played very solid golf all the way up to the 16th hole.
Some 50 yards in front of Boutier. This is 9 iron.
And finds green here at 18. So all eyes will be on Celine Boutier and the shot to come. Losing her second shot right and short here at 18. It's got to go in. Otherwise, 6, as they call her, will win this major championship at 6 under.
Well, she was the most solid player all day today as the leaders stumbled right out of the gate. The first 3 holes were some 60 over par by the last 4 groups. The first 3 holes. It's just been a hard day, a tough golf course today. The greens firmed up, just enough wind to give them some trouble, and then you mix in some pressure and then some ugly golf. You know, I haven't seen really any clutch putts go in to speak of, except for the one that Lee 6 made on 11 down that hill.
He had some testy hole locations out there too that had to be in the fairway to even get after him. The last 4 groups, not including this group, scoring average 73.6.
Yep. Well, she's 5 for 7 from the sand, but it would take a minor miracle here, Brad. I don't know if she can try to, bump and run here, just chunk and run it, or fly it back to.
Well, she's got to fly at a pretty good distance just to get it to the flat area, Paul. She's got a really good lie. The furrowed rakes are going down with her. That always helps. She's gotten up and down from the bunker on 2 and 8 today. But this really slopes away once it gets to the middle point of the green.
She has to get up and down in 1 shot.
Yeah, she's got to hold this or that's it.
She's a good bunker player, 16th in the LPGA Tour this year in sand saves, but this has got to go in. And Jung Eun Lee 6 will win the 2019 U.S. Women's Open Championship.
Finally, the emotions can come out.
Her first win on the LPGA Tour and the 7-time winner on the Korean LPGA Tour. And the emotions come pouring out.
Everything about her year pointed to her being in contention here. Finished second a couple weeks ago. Last week was her worst finish of the year, 26th, but she has just come out here on this tour and set the place on fire.
Meanwhile, Celine Boutier trying to save a par here to remain runner-up, second all alone.
That wasn't much easier than that bunker shot. That's from way down there, and that's a pretty nice shot. I hope she can make that putt and save herself a little bit of pride.
Well, we came into today talking about which one of the largely inexperienced contenders would remain standing.
So Young Yu right there, congratulating her, 1 U.S. Open to another.
The answer to that question is Jung Eun Lee 6. 3 birdies on the back 9, survived a bogey par bogey finish. She got the lead and did not give it up. What does the champion receive? The gold medal and the Harton S. Semple Trophy, a 10-year exemption into the U.S. Women's Open. And oh, by the way, the largest prize ever for a women's major championship. Walk away with $1 million.
That is real money, too. Good for her. She earned it. She's definitely played the best today.
The top rookie on the LPGA Tour. Had medalist honors at the 2018 LPGA Q Series. Here's Yu Liu for birdie at 18. This is to get into a tie for second, Brad.
Yeah, it's easy to see why this is such a hard hole to make a birdie on. Way back there, a lot of kind of like footprints from the dried out greens around the hole.
Good effort there. She started this final round tied at the top at 7 under. 4 over for this round if she taps this in. Now if Celine Boutier were to make this putt, there'd be a 4-way tie for second. With Lexi Thompson, So Yeon Yu, and Angel Yin.
Pretty straight putt. Might go a little to her right. Just a rude lip out.
Starts with a double and ends with a double. That's a tough way to finish.
Gave herself a chance heading to the final hole here at the Country Club of Charleston, but finishes her final round with a 75.
That's a rough finish. She really purported herself beautifully.
If Yu Liu makes this, it'll be a 5-way tie for 5th. Just gets it to go. And the Duke teammates from back in 2014 finally getting a chance to smile toward each other at the end of a frustrating day. So our winner is Jung-Hoon Lee 6 with rounds of 70, 69, 69, 70 today. She grabbed it and would not let it go as she wins women's golf's most prestigious title and that $1 million check. As we look at that leaderboard, wrapping up, the Louise Suggs Rookie of the Year award has been won by a Korean-born player for 4 consecutive years. Se-Young Kim, In-Ji Chun, Sung-Hyun Park, Jin-Young Ko, and Jung-Hoon Lee 6 will be the next to win that, as she wins by 2 and captures her first LPGA victory, and with it her first major. We'll give you some highlights from her day. And she really grabbed hold of this on the second 9 of this golf course. This her 3rd shot at 10 off the flagstick, and a great par save to stay 5 under.
Well, and then she got to that really hard 11th hole, Joe. Very, very intimidating, especially at this point in the championship. Flew it over that giant Redan false front, and that was no easy putt there. Just trickled it down the hill and made it.
Now here she is at 12, 2nd shot.
And here with a little pitching wedge. And really, this is where, you know, Paul talked about these holes where you have to take advantage of, and she was really the only one that did that. Nice par on 10, 11, and then a birdie on 12.
There she is at 16. This for birdie. This for par, and that would miss. Talked about her bogey par finish. Able to tap that in for her bogey. And now Celine Boutier.
This was the killer. A virtual gimme. She hit 5-iron from way back up the slope into that spot, and then that pretty much sealed her fate, really.
Yeah, at that moment she had a chance to climb to within 1. Moments later, this was for par at 18. She would miss that, finish with a bogey as she taps it in here. It forced Celine Boutier to make birdie at the last, had to make this out of the bunker, and it did not come close. And with that, Jung-Hoon Lee not only captures her first major championship, she becomes the 12th different winner in 13 LPGA events this year. As the emotions came flooding out here at the Country Club of Charleston. And the engraver goes to work. Jung-Hoon Lee 6. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, along with Paul Azinger and the Hall of Famer Julie Inkster. So that's now 11 straight U.S. Women's Open Championships with 11 different winners. And there was a point on that second 9 today where Jung-Hoon Lee looked like she was going to grab it. She did, and she just didn't let it go.
Well, she tried to let it go with the bogeys on 16 and 18, but we talked about Thursday that you can't win the tournament on Thursday. You just got to get yourself in the hunt come Sunday, and that's what she did. She got herself in the hunt. She didn't make any doubles this week. She was 5th in greens and regulations, 5th in putts. I mean, she played all-around great game for 4 days, and that's what you have to do to win a major championship.
She's done it all year, too. I mean, she's been the most steady. She's been in contention off and on all season, and I think it really paid dividends for her, even though she bogeyed 2 of the last 3 holes. She did what she needed to do to win the golf tournament. She looked to me in you, both of us at the same time, we just looked at each other like, holy cow, she's going to win this thing. And she just looked the most confident on the greens to me. She hit putts with authority and, deserved to come out on top.
You know, we came in talking about Lexi Thompson, who was the fan favorite, the crowd favorite here in Charleston, and just hoping for her that the putter would get hot because the rest of her game had been so good. But it was the rest of the game that really let her down here today.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I mean, really, right off the first tee, she hooks her ball in the bunker, makes bogey on the first hole. She didn't hit very many fairways today, and you can't play this golf course out of the rough. And the fairways are wide. They give you a lot of opportunities to hit them, but she was not hitting the fairways, playing out of the rough, hitting it long. Jessica Korda could not get her putter going. Minjee Lee just had too many of the others, triples and doubles. Some of our top players just couldn't get it done on Sunday.
As we wrap up here today, and we'll look at the leaderboard for one of the final times here this afternoon, this Seth Rayner design that opened in 1925 has just been a wonderful host to this major championship, and it really stood up tall here this week in Charleston.
I could play here every day. I mean, it's a fun golf course. It's fair. It doesn't look hard to walk. I love the fact that the tees are so close to the greens. And it's just a brilliant design with angles and what have you. And, it really is a low country gem.
See our leader and our winner, Jung-Hoon Lee, 6. At 6 under, ironically enough, with Lexi Thompson, So-Yeon Yu, Angel Yin tied for second at 4 under par, 2 shots back. J. Marie Green, it was going so well all week long, especially with the putter. But that cooled off here today, and we will take a look at Jung-Hoon Lee, 6, and here in just a moment we will join the trophy presentation down on 18.
Good evening, everyone. All of us at the USGA would like to offer sincere thanks to the Country Club of Charleston, its members, for putting on an absolutely spectacular championship. And how about this golf course? Talk about championship condition. It indeed tested the world's best players on a true architectural masterpiece. And to the ground staff, a hearty congratulations. This championship wouldn't be possible without the tireless work and efforts of nearly 1,700 volunteers, the phenomenal support from you, the fans, and most of all, the amazing talents of these remarkable women who truly inspired us all week. Now it's my distinct honor to introduce the newest U.S. Open champion, Jung-Hoon Lee, 6. Ladies and gentlemen, USGA President Mark Newell will now present the medal for low amateur. With a score of 285 at 1 over par, Gina Kim of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Now to the champion. Since 1895, the USGA has awarded a gold medal to all USGA champions. With a score of 278, 6 under par, Korea's Jung-Hoon Lee, 6. We're now thrilled to present this historic trophy as well as a $1 million winner's check. Joel?
Congratulations. And this championship has so much pressure. Down the stretch, you looked like you were totally unfazed by that pressure. How much pressure did you feel on the 18th hole?
16번, 17번, 18번 마지막 세 홀에서 긴장을 너무 많이 해서 좀 보기가 2개 나왔던 것 같고요. 그래도 전반에 플레이를 잘해서 그나마 그 프레셔를 좀 감당할 수 있었던 것 같아요.
I felt pretty nervous on starting in the holes 16, 17, and 18, but I tried best as I can. I know I made it 2 bogeys, but I just didn't want to think about it too much, and so I tried my best as I can.
Well, you did fantastic. What aspect of your game were you most proud of today?
샷감이 괜찮아서 버디 찬스가 많이 왔던 것 같고요. 그리고 항상 1번 홀 보기를 했을 때 그 마무리가 굉장히 좋았던 기억이 많아서 오늘 보기를 하고 시작하는 게 조금 도움이 됐던 것 같아요.
So all my shots were pretty good so far, and every time if I make a bogey on the first hole, I kind of feel a little bit calm because I know that I will play well at the end. So.
How much does it mean to you to win the biggest championship in women's golf and $1 million?
이번 대회 정말 큰 메이저를 이겼었고 그리고 이제 상금은 10억인데 어떤 느낌이세요?
지금까지 우승했던 어떤 대회들보다 정말 느낌이 틀린 것 같고요. 지금까지 골프를 했던 게 생각이 나서 굉장히 눈물이 많이 나는 것 같아요.
Sorry. Throughout the year playing golf for... Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm just really proud of her, how she played this. She couldn't imagine coming this far, you know, winning the first LPGA tournament and also major championship. And she feels proud of herself, and she works so hard, and yeah. And
well, please tell her that we are all proud of her. Congratulations again to the 74th U.S. Women's Open champion, Jung Woo Lee 6.